Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Flower Power Live. I've returned from my week off travels down to sunny Florida, and all I have to say is that as the years go on, I expect to be broadcasting more from Florida in the future. It was so nice to get away from the very cold and icy conditions that we have up here in New Hampshire for most of the winter. So, Florida is a subtropical area, and it was super fun to go around and look at all the different native plants there. And I look forward to learning more about the different native species there in the future. However, although today's plant does grow in Florida and it is uh, likes the warmer climates, this plant really is much more adapted to arid conditions, and it's this adaptation that makes it gives it its medicine that works so well for us, and that plant is aloe. So, welcome. My name is Allison, and I love sharing this knowledge with you. So, thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Now, aloe grows in zones 8 through 11, and around the world, there are more than 400 different varieties of aloe, and they are all different kinds. And I'm sure you've seen a few of them. Um, these are just some pictures of it. This is like a twisted aloe and this speckled one here. And there's all different types of varieties of aloe, but there's only really a couple that we use for medicine, which is mostly Aloe barbadensis and Aloe arborescens. And those are the two primary ones that we use. Now, you might be saying, wait, I thought we used aloe vera, but isn't that what we're supposed to be using? Well, it was very confusing when I'm a pretty good researcher, and I still found it very confusing to figure out exactly what we're supposed to be calling this plant and which one we're supposed to be using. Because according to some of these plant databases, there's like 17 different names that mean the same thing for the same plant. So the commonly we call use aloe vera. The word vera means true, so it's hard to tell whether or not this plant it's pretty much the barbadensis, but was this name Vera adopted just because, these non-botanical people, you don't want to be putting aloe barbadensis all over your packaging when it is kind of hard to pronounce. So for all you non-botanical types, we're going with aloe vera. And aloe is a big commercial undertaking. It is originally from sort of North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, but it has been planted all over the world. And in fact, this has kind of led to some difficulty in identifying, well, exactly where is aloe vera from originally. And so we have a general idea that it's from these more arid regions in North Africa and the Arabian Peninsula. So um, we're happy it's here because it is just such a wonderful plant. And it's really important to note that it is not a cactus. Okay. It is actually in the lily family. So it's more closely related to a lily than it is to a cactus. And what it is it's called a succulent. And this is a type of plant that is adapted to these dry regions by being able to hold water inside of the plant leaves. And there's many, many different types of succulents that grow around the world, and aloe is one of these. So some aloe is edible, but not all aloe are edible, and not all are used medicinally. So you want to make sure that you're getting the correct aloe. Now, sometimes you can even find aloe like the big in the grocery store. You'll have these big, huge leaves, and that's primarily from the Aloe barbadensis, as far as I could tell. Like I said, there's 17 different names for the same plant. And I have some aloe plant. Oh, here's one of my decorative plants. Again, another one of these kind of cool, just variegated leaves on it. And I've got a plant I discovered in my research that this plant is called Aloe Vera Chinensis, and it's distinguishable by these spots on the backside of the leaves. And this is the one that is most commonly used for the gel. Now, the gel, of course, is what everybody knows about. And I personally have to put aloe in one of the very top, okay, top 20. I can't do 10. Top 20 plants for a for my herbal toolkit, just because it is so incredibly nourishing and healing to the skin. And you've probably used it. It's in all kinds of skin lotions and sunburn remedies. And a lot of this has to do with, I saw anywhere between 75 and like hundreds of different constituents that are contained in this gel. And it includes vitamins, minerals, enzymes, polysaccharides, organic acids, all kinds of things that are very, very healing. Now, it is so healing that, in fact, in her book, Herbs for Natural Beauty, which is these, I love this book. It was a little series that Rosemary Gladstar did a number of years ago, and some of them went out of print, but I think they reprinted them. But they're just a great little book. And she says you actually have to be careful using aloe if you have any kind of skin infection, because it can heal and seal it over so well before the infection is actually healed. So that is how good aloe is. Now, the aloe there's actually two different types of medicine that you can get from the aloe. And this is an aloe leaf that's been cut in the cross section, and you can see all the gel inside of it. And then that is the part that's mostly water. It's 99% water. And this is what most people use in cosmetics, or you can put it directly on your skin. And I personally, when I go out in the sun, even though I have really fair skin, I hardly ever use sunblock anymore. I tend to just sort of cover myself up and wear a hat. And then if I get a lot of sun exposure, when I get home, I'll just slather the aloe on myself, because frankly, I don't know what's in all of these different kinds of sunblock products. And I'm just not so sure I should be putting that on my skin. And so aloe the gel is good, again, for all kinds of skin, and also for the edible version can be consumed as a juice. And this is great, can be used for arthritic and rheumatoid arthritis kind of conditions, and also for any type of digestive issues. Now, you got to be pretty hardcore, because aloe is very bitter, and it can be hard to swallow. Now, there is another part to the aloe. If you right around beneath the rind and the gel is another type of substance that is called is a yellow latex. So the latex and is way more hardcore medicinal. So this is something that's used as a purgative, and it is for it can be used for like worms. It can be used to get rid of, like, kind of clean out your liver and gallbladder and stuff. But it's something that is definitely has a lot of contraindications. So, like, you would never want to use this if you were pregnant or nursing, and a lot of other sort of stipulations on using this more medicinal version of it. So, for this reason, you kind of want to be careful with the products that you get. If you're going to take something internally, I highly recommend that what you do is you go to the health food store and you buy the bottle of aloe vera juice, which is, we know it's the edible type. It's been properly processed, and it's had most of this latex part taken out. Now, if you have a latex allergy, you are definitely not going to be using aloe, or you can try it. You can try it. And you're always going to want to try this when you don't just take something you never used before and put it all over your skin. But I'd be curious, if you have a latex allergy, have you used aloe? You can put down below, can I use this or can I not? And for that reason, you can stick more with the gel part of the plant, and again, use the prepared products. Now, I will use this. I'm just one of these people. I like to cook, and I don't know. I'm always burning myself in the kitchen. So what I will do is I will just simply pluck off a leaf. I'll take off the edge. And I just found out during my research here that what I probably want to do is I want to, and you can just see the gel on the inside of that. And oops, let me get rid of this thing here. And you can just simply rub that gel right on your skin. Very gooey and very sticky. But I swear by it for when you get any kind of kitchen burn, even in addition to a sunburn. So before we move on to the flower S, it's got a ton of other uses as well. It's one of these plants with a bazillion uses, and so that's a few of the things that you can use it for and what it's most known for. But what's happened is it's become known as, the burn healing plant. And so a lot of these other uses have kind of fallen by the wayside. And so people are starting to reintroduce aloe and for its other benefits. Before I go on, I just want to say a little bit about skin. It is our largest organ, and it whatever you put on it, it's going to absorb. It's going to go into your bloodstream, and it's big. It's taking up a lot of stuff. So you really need to be mindful. I am very particular about what I purchase for skin care products. And I'm always looking at the ingredients, and I just want to make sure I get the cleanest stuff ever. Even with aloe, if you're purchasing some aloe vera gel, and it'll say, 99% aloe, you still need to look at the ingredients because it can be quite variable as to what type of preservative is going in. And according to Rosemary Gladstar's book here, she says that you want to look for something, if you can find it, with citric acid as a preservative. And that is one of the sort of like the safest type of preservatives that you can find with aloe. So the flower essence, I moved my paper too soon. So the flower essence helps you to integrate your creative activities with your vital life energy and your positive expression of your sort of creative juices and help them flow. And someone who is out of balance, who needs to have the aloe vera flower essence, is someone who is kind of like a workaholic, and they're burning the candle at both ends. They're exhausting themselves. They're ignoring all of the other things that they should be doing to renew themselves. And they just kind of like overuse. And this can even go for somebody who's like a creative artist and is doing something. It's a positive thing that they're doing, but they're just not giving themselves a break. And one of the important things that it helps with is helping you just to kind of balance these two aspects of yourself, both the fire and then the water aspect, in a way where you're cooling yourself and you're allowing yourself to take a break and to just be more in balance. Now, the primary, let's see here. I'll just show you this other one. The primary plant that's used for the flower essence, again, the arborescens, is this yellow flower here. And again, this is in the lily family. And then this aloe arborescens, sometimes a flower essence is made from this one as well that has the red flower. But Flower Essence Services their information is about the yellow flowered aloe. And these other site, Bachflowertherapy.us, they say that flower essence takes you from burned out to creativity. And I really liked that. If you are just like driven by willpower, exhausting yourself, then you can use the aloe flower essence to get back to a better balance. And I'll admit right now, I am the aloe vera type. I tend to do it work. And so this is really important for people like that don't allow themselves, you're creating and you don't allow yourself to look up from the canvas. Aloe flower essence can be super helpful for that. Now, today I don't think I've used this deck before with Flower Power. I'm very excited about it. It is an absolute gorgeous deck. I want to show you the box. It's called the Earthcraft Oracle, and it is by these two women, Juliet Diaz and Lorriane Anderson, and the art is by Danielle Boodoo-Fortune. And it is just these gorgeous, like luscious artistic cards. And they wrote this deck to kind of help us remember how the earth supports us and how we can like sort of reconnect with these earth energies. And it says in the book, encourages us to embrace the most positive expression of ourselves. I didn't have a card specifically for aloe vera, and so I drew this card. And when I first drew it, I was like, ivy, well, that's kind of weird. And but I usually just trust the card that comes up. So this card is ivy, and it represents our ability to thrive and expand. And because if you've ever grown ivy, it like grows like crazy. It's definitely an expansive plant and can grow anywhere, and it can really thrive. And so this card indicates the ability to be able to grow new relationships. And one of the messages from the cards was that it's time to put more time into your social self-care. And I thought, well, that really matches up with kind of what an aloe vera workaholic type really needs. And so aloe, this week we're talking about nourishing and healing. And so that is kind of the message that we have today. And so it's telling us, this card pointing us to our relationships, our friendships, our personal relationships, or even our business relationships, and how we need to kind of attend, not to ignore those, and to attend to them, not to just stay working and ignore these important parts of our life. So are you spending too much time focused on your work and not allowing yourself to be rejuvenated? Now, this past week I was on vacation, and I was going to make it sort of a working vacation. I took my computer and stuff just because, when you're a solar entrepreneur, there's always stuff to do. And then after a while, I realized, wow, I don't have reliable internet. I don't have my books. I don't have my stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to be on vacation. And I spent the time in relationship with my husband. We were visiting a friend and a couple other people that we hadn't seen in a long time. And I just allowed myself to be in that space. And by rejuvenating and really taking that time off, now I come back more refreshed and ready for this week. So if you are a workaholic, and it's been kind of dangerous these last couple of years because a lot of people work at home, and so it's easy to work all the time. So just kind of take a look at that, whether you're working too much and whether you're not putting enough boundaries on your work. Remember, 2022 is a year of boundaries and structures. So just make a plan, maybe together with a friend that you haven't seen in a while, and make sure you're balancing work and play. And when we do this, oftentimes new ideas and solutions will come to us because we've allowed ourselves to rest and rejuvenate. So that's our message from Aloe tonight. Thank you so much for joining me for a Flower Power Live. If you're watching me on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and like the video. And I will see you all next week for another Flower Power. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.